Number 8. Moving slowly but surely. Oh, man. Let me grab this. Here we go. Number 8. Go ahead and read your problem. What type of problem do you think this one is? Conic section. Yeah, what do you see that tells you conic section? It says ellipse. Very good. This is a conic section. The key to conic section is knowing your vocabulary. To A, to B, to C. If you know that, you'll be well ahead of everybody else. Students only got this right 41%. That means 2 out of 5 students got this right. 3 out of 5 got it wrong. So if you look around the room, most people got this one wrong. And it comes down to vocabulary issues. When you see covertices, I'm gonna do a countdown here. Covertices. 2A, 2B, 2C. 3, 2, 1. 2B. 2B. If you can remember that's 2B, you're way ahead. Now, there's a couple other things you need to remember, not just 2A, 2B, 2C. What letter changes? X. The reason that's important is when you go to write your equation, if you look at the formula chart, wherever your x is located, your x squared, everything gets squared in this formula. Wherever your x is squared, the b squared is going to be its denominator. So now let's figure out how far apart are these x values. It was at -2. Now it's at 8. -2 to 8 is a change of how much? 10. So 2b equals 10. Now what you're going to solve, anytime you're working with A, B, or C, you're going to get that isolated and square it. So Carolina, how do I get the b by itself?
You have to
Divide by 2. We divide by 2. And what does b actually equal? 5. Now, A, B, and C, you're always going to want them squared, always. So what is b squared? 25. That means underneath the x, in the denominator of the x fraction, I need 25. Can I eliminate any fractions or any options? Which answer choices are eliminated? A and D are out. A and D are out. Now, something that you can also look at is the variable that's not changing. What is not changing? The y. We just found out that the y equals 1. What does that mean for my equation? Well, in the equations, they don't say y equals 1. They put the 1 and the y on the same side. So if I wanted 1 and y on the same side, what's the opposite of 1? -1. If I take away 1, what do I get? Y minus 1 equals 0. Okay, why do I say that? Because in the parenthesis, they have the 1 and the y on the same side of the equation. You have to set it this way. So the answer is actually going to be C and not B. See how that I eliminated that? Just like that. So I didn't even have to use eccentricity on this problem. That part became extra. The way I've said it all year is inside lies. That's why inside lies is because if it's on the inside, you have to solve it equaling 0. Meaning you're going to do the opposite of what you see. That's why it lies. I want to hit this word, eccentricity. Is that a word you have to memorize? Yeah, not say that. Eccentricity is actually not one you have to memorize. It's not 2A, it's not 2B, it's not 2C. What is eccentricity? C over A. So if you had to use it, which on this one we already had the answer, but if you had to use it, the formula is C over A. What you would do is you would plug in 12 divided by 13 is C over A. What does that mean C is? C is 12, and as soon as you know what that is, you want to find C squared, which is 144. And what does that mean A is? 13. As soon as you know A, you want to square it as well, and then that's 169. 144 would not be in the answer choice. That is a very frequent distractor, is they'll throw in 144. That C squared will never be included in the problem, but A squared would be. That's where the 169 comes from. There. So that's just extra. You didn't need it for this problem, but you might need it on your actual problem. So I wanted to get that there. You can, I was going to show you a second technique. You can try to use your calculator for these. How would we graph this equation? I'm looking at the variables, I see an x and a y variable. Where would you graph that? All at once. Could I graph it here as a function? What does it mean to be a function? Don't just look at me. Y'all are wanting to graduate high school within the next few years. You should know what a function is. What's a function? Nope. Yeah, it's a function. What is a function? Say that again. It's a relationship between the x and y that satisfies something. What's true with every function? It passes something. Heard it. It passes the vertical line test. Yes. This will not pass the vertical line test. How do I know? It's the ellipse. Put an ellipse with your hands. Does that pass the vertical line test? When you put an ellipse, would that pass or fail? It'd fail. It's not going to be a function. So where do I graph this? That would take way too long to. I said it earlier. We're not going to use function on this test. You're not going to use a function on this test because we don't focus on functions second semester. So you're going to pick from here. Where would I type it in if it's only an x and a y variable? It's not a function. How about relation? Who's relation? You would graph it from here. And when you type it in, you can then oh, I gotta type it in first. X minus 3 squared over 25 squared, or no, over 25 plus y minus 1. Y minus 1. Again, I'm gonna square it. Whoops. That's not right. Y minus 1. Square that over 169 equals 1. It shows me this ellipse. What you can do is if you go to menu, analyze graph, this is a conic. Analyze your conic. You can choose from up here. This says eccentricity, so I can get the eccentricity on the board. The problem is it does not show me co-vertices. That is not on the list. If you go to menu, analyze graph, analyze conics, you can get the vertices, but not the co-vertices. The vertices are not the ones you need. Notice these won't be the points. 314 and 3 negative 12 are not the ones shown you. So you have to just look to see if it hits the points. It does appear to me that this graph goes through -2, 1. That's right there. -2, 1. And does it go through 8, 1? Well, it's hard to tell with this equation there. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, it goes through 8, 1 as well. But it's not as exact. You could use calculator as well. Just want to show you that. So that was number 8. 41% got that right. Hopefully we do better that time. It's vocabulary.